This has got to be like my favorite type of riff, my favorite type of progression. There's a few reasons why. I am going to show you though how to play what I just did. It's not super complex, and that's okay. I want you to know that is okay. Not every riff you play and write has to be like ultra hard to play. There's more to great songwriting than just fast riffs. Sometimes you want to let things ring out a little bit, and you just want to let the riff you're writing fit the song. Okay, there's a time and place for everything, and we're getting off track already. I want to show you how to play this. By the way, Patreon supporters, you guys have the tabs and the backing tracks for this, so make sure you grab those. If you'd like to learn more about my Patreon and what I offer, there's a link in the description. But let's move on with the lesson here, guys. This is a cool riff. I love it, and if you're still watching, I'm going to assume you love it just as much as I do, so let's get to it. So I'm going to play it out in the open just real quick here, and then we'll go over the chord structure, okay, the actual progression, which after that we'll dive deeper into the details of what we're doing here. Okay, so here it is. Alright, so let's start with the chord structure here. So first of all, real simple. We're in the key of A minor, and really we're only playing 3 chords. We're doing a little bit more movement to make things sound cooler and just give it that sinister meets fantasy-driven vibe, okay? But the chords are just A power chord, F power chord, G power chord. Again, we're in the key of A minor. So if you're playing that just with regular power chords, this is what it would sound like. Now, that sounds pretty cool. Hey, we could just stick with that, but nope. We're going to dive into what I was playing earlier because there's a lot of cool things going on here, and I really think this is going to give you a lot of ideas for your songwriting, okay? So we're going to start out playing the A power chord, but we're only going to play a partial power chord here. In other words, we're not going to start with that open A string. We're not playing that string at all. We're only on the D and the G strings here, which again, that just gives it that really like sinister meets fantasy vibe here, which is really cool. So we're going to start out with the 5th note of the A power chord. You've got your power chord, right? You get your root note, then you've got your next note over, which is your 5th note. That's what makes your power chord, and I know that's for the newbies there. Many of you probably already know that, but we're starting with that next note of the power chord. And then we also have an octave of that A that we're going to play, which that makes it an inverted power chord. We'll get to that though. So in other words, we're going to be playing the 2nd fret of the D string, okay? And then we're starting what's going to sound like a power chord, and technically it is, because the next string over, the D string, we're on the 4th fret. We've got this right here. Now that's really just an E power chord if you were just to play that. But it's really not a E power chord in this case. All that would fit, but that's, we could get into that some other time. We're playing that because it's part of the A power chord. In other words, we're going to go from here, D and G strings, 2, 4, those are your frets, okay? And then you're going to go 2, 2. What's cool about this, and hang in here with me just for a second, guys. What's cool about these 2 notes? That's called an inverted A power chord, okay? Why is that? Well, because we're not starting with the actual A note, the root note. We're starting with the 5th note of the power chord, and then the next note over that we play at that point in time is actually the A octave. It's the higher octave, which that makes it an inverted power chord. Okay, so we've got that in there, but we start with this right here, with that 4th fret. Now, the next chord up, we're going to go to an F. You can slide right into that. We'll cover the picking in a second. Let's just get the chords down first, okay? We'll cover the picking. Let's get the chords here down first. Same cadence there, okay, kind of the same thing going on there, just different notes. Now we're playing just an F power chord, D and G string, so that's frets 3 and 5. We're going to play that. Then we're going to go 3, 4. Listen to this. I love that sound, man. It's just a killer sound. Listen to this. Okay, then we go back to what we're doing surrounding the A power chord there. Now here we're going to play the G, then the F. We're going to kind of go through this quick. So if we were just to play the power chords down here, but we don't do that. Well, the F, we actually do that, but for that G, which the power chord on the D and G strings, those are frets 5 and 7. We're not playing 5 and 7 though. We're actually going to start out with 5 and 4, okay? D string 5th fret, then the G string 4th fret, and we're going to go back and forth on that G string between the 4th and 5th fret. So check this out. Okay, we quickly do that and go back to that F power chord. And we'll run through the picking techniques that I'm using here. It'll make more sense. I just wanted to break down the structure first, okay? Now let's get the picking technique in here, okay? There's some palm muting. These are all downstrokes, by the way. So let's talk about the picking technique. All this really is, and I say technique, I mean there's really not a lot going on here. Again, we're just, using the downstrokes to palm mute some certain parts of this riff here, okay? So here we go. So starting out on our notes surrounding the A power chord here, I'm just doing a little palm muting thing right here. Pretty simple, guys. It's nothing really overly complex here. Okay, I hit that chord twice, then G. What I like about using this technique is after I palm mute that second time, I go right into the next series of notes that we're playing for that chord. So 2, 4, do our little palm mute, then 2, 2, frets 2, 2, okay? And we've got some more palm muting after that. You could pause the video and just practice this right here. Just kind of get that down. You'll probably start coming up with more ideas, which is cool. I encourage that, okay? Now we're going to go into that F power chord. Okay, so we're essentially doing the same thing there. All right, now what I love about, you see my fingers kind of shaking a little bit. No, I'm okay, I haven't had too much caffeine. I just like to get a little, kind of weird vibrato when I play those two notes together, the frets 3 and 4. That was a little too much. And then we repeat that same thing with the A minor power chord there. Lastly, we're going to go to our G and F. Now here, not much going on. When I do this, that's when I'll throw my palm mute in there. And what's cool, and this is a little tactic I use quite often, is that kind of serves as a little transition, an easy transition to go from that configuration of my fingers to the F power chord. See, I hit that palm mute there, and it gives me just a millisecond of time to switch my fingers to go to that F power chord. I love using tactics like this because to me, it makes things a little bit easier. You know, my goal as a guitar player is really not to play something that other guitar players think is difficult. I'm not writing music for other guitar players. I hope guitar players enjoy it. I mean, yeah, I want that, but that's not my sole purpose of writing a song. So I will figure out ways on guitar to make things easier so that the song is just it's just more fluid. It just has a nice flow to it. So again, little techniques like that. Instead of doing this, that little palm mute gives me a little stop and I can quickly transition over. Let's run through this one more time and then we will have our guitar chat. I actually have something else to show you real quick too before we get to that. So here's the riff. All right, now I want you to listen to something, and it's very important that you have decent speakers. I hope this comes through okay. I'm gonna just let you listen to a very short clip, okay? What I want you to listen for. If you're on your phone, you should be able to hear it, or desktop, probably even better. Headphones, you're really gonna hear this. You'll notice one guitar is doing exactly what we just did, okay? I've got a second guitar doing something a little different. So listen to this very closely and I'll show you what I'm doing. If you heard that other guitar in there, and I think that was in the left and our riff we just learned was in the right, well, I just simplified it, okay? I just played this right here with the other guitar. All I did was just let those chords, let those notes ring out while the other guitar, what we just learned, is doing the busy work there. Those two combined just make your song sound magical in my opinion. So this is getting into our little guitar chat here. I think I put a YouTube shorts out a few days ago on how I record, you know, your tracks, how to record your rhythm tracks. I like to record 2 rhythm tracks, and many of you know this from prior videos. I've got some other videos on this too. Do 2 rhythm tracks, I'll record one, and once I record that first track, I'll hard pan it to the left, open up a new track in my studio. I'll go ahead and hard pan that to the right. In that track, I usually try to do something a little different, at least in some parts of the song. They don't all have to be different, right? Of course, the guitar tracks don't always all have to be the same. That other guitar, hey, why not harmonize with it or do something a little different? It just, I don't know, it just gives your mix just a better overall sound and gives your song, to me, a little bit more powerful vibe. The last point I want to make to you guys, though, we'll call this Guitar Chat Part 2 for this video. Remember that not every riff you write or play has to be ultra complex. It doesn't always have to be like super complicated, you know. Sometimes it's the more simple riffs. I really need to get my guitar stand back in here. Sometimes it's the more simple riffs that have a deeper impact. This riff that we learned today, especially that second guitar part that I shared with you where we're just playing the chords, well, I mean, it's still an awesome riff. Now, I could have thrown in more notes there, but it might have lost the impact for this specific song that I'm messing around with here, which this song's actually for Metal Mastermind. That's where I house all of my guitar courses. You guys know I'm the co-owner. Most of you know I'm the co-owner of that. That's something that I started with Ken Candelas, pro audio engineer and SAE instructor. But in any case, you know, the song has a special meaning to it. And I'm hearing different things that I want for this song. Some parts may call for a little bit more complexity, some parts may not. But I just want to encourage you guys that just because there aren't a lot of notes in a section of a song that you're writing or playing, know that that's okay. Know that it's okay. Sometimes you might write something real simple. You have to think about who you're writing for. I know a lot of you may say, well, I'm just writing for me. I don't care what people think. Well, I think deep down sometimes we do care what people think, though, and I think sometimes we might care a little bit more than we should, okay? The reason why I say that is because as a guitar player, as an artist, we want people to like our stuff. Well, hey, that part's fine. Understand, though, that we're not just writing music, or at least me, I'm not just writing music for guitar players. Look, I hope you guys enjoy my music, my albums that I put out there, and a lot of you have sent me a bunch of support for those albums. You guys email me and message me almost on a daily basis saying, hey, I listened to your first album, Apocalyptic Dreams, or I heard Masterpiece, or one of your heavy metal workout albums. Hey, I appreciate that. I really do. And I hope you guys like that. I hope you appreciate the guitar work. However, I'm not writing albums just for guitar players to enjoy. That's just kind of a side effect. I'm glad you guys enjoy them. Thank you. But I'm not really concerned that somebody says, oh, well, that riff in that song was easy, so maybe I don't like that song so much. Hey, who cares, you know? Complex guitar playing, and I love shredding. You guys know that. I love fast rhythms and cool stuff. It's great. It's challenging. I'm not saying don't play it, but fast guitar playing and ultra complex rhythms and leads and all that, they do not automatically equate to a good song. Good songwriting is something completely different. Doesn't mean that you can't have those elements. And hey, maybe you're in a band that's what you do. You're in a progressive technical metal band or whatever. That's perfectly fine because that's what that audience, that's what they expect. That's why they listen to the music. They want to hear some complex stuff, right? But like the music I personally write, and I know a lot of you may be in this boat as well, well, some of the stuff might not be ultra complex. Heck, one of you even told me as a comment, you know, you said something along the lines as when you go to try to write something metal or rock, it just doesn't work out and you end up writing something that's folky. You know what, guys? I admire that. I admire your comment because that just goes to show what's really inside. And I say, hey, if that's what's coming out, if that's what's naturally coming out, you go with that. That's okay. That's good. I encourage that. I encourage that 100%. And this doesn't mean that all of you are going to start writing folk music, but hey, if something else is coming out during the writing process, if that's what's naturally coming out of you, then I say go with that. Now, the fact that you like rock and metal, you know, I'm talking about this person here who's longtime subscriber and very, very much appreciate you, appreciate your comment. And I don't want to mention names on here, but I very much appreciate these types of comments, these really super deep and honest comments. And I get these from a lot of you, and I appreciate you so much. I really do, guys. I appreciate you opening up and just being real. That's what we're all about, you know. We're all about being genuine, and I want you guys to continue to be that. I love reading your comments. You guys come up with some really cool stuff to share with me, and a lot of it's really heart-touching as well. But I love the honesty in that one particular comment, and I say go with it. You know what I mean? Go with it. It might be a simple 3 or 4 chord folk song that comes out. That's okay. And the fact that you like rock and metal, some of that's going to shine through in that, okay? Just organically, it's just what's going to happen. But I just want to encourage you to go with your heart, go with your gut instinct when it comes to writing music, okay? Don't try to play this or try to play like this person over here or that style or that band or whatever. I get it. You're learning songs sometimes and you learn the song, okay, fine. Some of that's going to naturally come out in your writing as well. But I just want to have this chat with you real quick, guys. You know, remember, shredding's great. I love it. Again, I love fast playing. Fast guitar playing is impressive. It's great. But it does not automatically give you a good song. It does not automatically equate to good songwriting. Anyway, guys, kind of a long-winded chat here. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me here. I always feel like we're just in the studio. I know we won't all fit in this small 10 by 11 room, but I feel like we're just hanging out in here. I always want to encourage you. I always want to encourage you, you know, and I'm never going to tell you guys this is the right way to do things and that's the wrong way to do things. Again, guys, I'm not bashing technical playing. I don't want you to feel like that either. That's not what I'm doing because I play some technical stuff from time to time too. I'm just saying don't be upset with yourself if that's not what's coming out naturally, okay? Or if that's not what this project or the band or the song calls for. Be okay with that. Let what's in there naturally come out, okay? Again, if it's technical, great. But if it's not, it's okay too. Alright guys, we'll wrap this up. Hey, I just was messing around. I played a little solo to one of these pieces here, so I'll end with that. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the day today, awesome week. Remember to always keep it metal and keep playing music.